Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, coming at you again with another hot educational video. First, I want to say thank you to all of you who follow me on Facebook and read my blog on the Huffington Post, and who've done one of my teleseminars. I love the emails that I get all the time telling me how successful you are and how much you love the video. So I want to say thank you for loving the videos, and I'll keep them coming. All right, we're in an interesting market right now, and there are two stocks that I want to talk to you about because there's this notion in the stock market that you just buy stocks and you completely hold them and you wait years and years and years and you never look back, and that's called it's been called historically buy and hold, but I call it buy and hope. So there are two stocks that I want to tell you about because I don't think now is the best time to own them, and then there's one stock that I think that you should own. All right, so let's see if we can take a look at two stocks that have done very well over time, but not the stocks that you really want to own right now. And the first one is a company that I used to love called McDonald's. Now, you know, in the Wealthy Investor Program, we don't marry stocks, we only date them. And when those stories change, when the revenue, you know from watching all of my videos, when the top line revenue declines, it's time to leave the stock. This is a McDonald's chart. It is a 2-year chart. And in this particular video, I'm going to take you through these smaller snapshot so you begin to understand short-term trend and long-term trend. All right, the revenue at McDonald's has been okay, but believe it or not, we're actually, McDonald's ticker symbol, as you know, is MCD. We're actually entering an era where there's more competition in the fast food era than there has ever been before. So not only is it McDonald's, we've got a new brand called Shake Shack, which people love. In-N-Out Burger on the West Coast is growing exponentially. And it's providing a kind of competition that the McDonald's Corporation has never seen before. So over the past 2 years, look at what's been happening with the stock as all this competition is entering the marketplace. Now, if you just bought the stock and said, hey, I'm just going to buy it, you know, it's McDonald's. I hear a lot of my students say this. It's McDonald's. It has to go up. No, it does not. Not when the story changes. Okay, and one of the other things that you know about the Wealthy Investor approach to the stock market is something called a co-relationship. A co-relationship. Now, what is that? That's when two companies have a relationship together, and generally when a company has a co-relationship, the stocks will rise and fall together. All right, so what's the co-relationship with McDonald's? It's a company called Coca-Cola. Excuse me. Now look at this 2-year chart of Coca-Cola. Notice that it is what? Not the kind of chart that you really want to see. And over just the past 24 months, look at the stock price. So let me go back. If we just, you know, in the Wealthy Investor Program, before we get into like technical analysis, we just look at pictures first. So here's a 2-year picture of McDonald's, and here's a 2-year picture of Coca-Cola stock. Now you notice that both of them are not rising. Why is that? Well, the story that drives the revenue is a little bit more complex, but I will say this because they have a co-relationship. And when you go to McDonald's, what is the only fountain drink you can order? Coca-Cola products. So if less people are actually going into McDonald's to order things like burgers, shakes, and fries, then that might mean that there is less Coca-Cola sold. Now remember, whenever I teach you about the stock market, we're talking about globally, not just in your town, your city, or the United States. We're talking about all over the planet. And McDonald's has seen slower sales where? Mostly in Asia. So it doesn't mean that the stock price is going to fall. It's just not a winner. This is why we can't buy stocks and just leave them alone. As an educated, wealthy investor, we must what? Keep up with these companies, but that requires a financial education, and that's what you get in the Wealthy Investor Program. Well, let's replace that with a stock that's actually rising. And that is a company called, let's see if I can pull it up here. Actually, this is a great lesson. You go to Yahoo Finance, you click on Finance, right? Because a lot of people always say to me, well, how do you do research on your stocks? And then I'm going to put in my favorite ticker symbol here right now, which is Disney, which is stock symbol DIS. This is how you look up a stock online and you actually research it. And this is the Walt Disney Company. Now, in that same 2-year period, right, where Coca-Cola and McDonald's has rested, I want you to look at this picture and look at what happens to Disney stock. See, same 2 year period. All right. What is this all about? This is about getting that financial education. Don't go off and just put your money in the stock market on a feeling or a hunch. We have to understand the story of the stock. So Disney stock is doing what? It's doing very well during the same 2 year period. Why? Because what's going on at Disney, they're experiencing rising revenues worldwide while Coca-Cola and McDonald's aren't. Now, there are really five basic reasons for that. So, if you go to the wealthyinvestor.net/Disney, this is a recent article I wrote on the 5 reasons that Disney stock is going higher from here. You really need to read this article because it'll really explain to you very, very quickly why Disney is a stock for the people who own it that is going to go much higher in the next 5 years. But there are really 5 primary reasons for that. This is all about getting a financial education. Don't just put your money in the stock market and hope and rely on names that have historically done well, because you and I are living in history right now and it's being made. And there's a shift in the stock market. And when you join the Wealthy Investor program, I teach you when those shifts happen so you don't wind up holding stocks that are not going higher. Remember, all wealth is taught. And in order to be financially successful in the stock market, you need what? A financial education.